The Extraordinary Rendition of Janos Farkas. Chapter 29, Part 3. "What about Howd?" Max asked. "Tell me about Howd." "What's to tell? I only know what I see and you have told me. We met in Sarajevo, where he was helping bankroll the Muslim cause. He looked at the theater of war as real theater that someone with money could script and manipulate, leaving the audience in suspense until the curtain came down. As an actor, this concept of a bigger stage appealed to me. We became friends. We put on some little shows together. London, Paris, Copenhagen, Madrid. But Howd always wanted to put on a blockbuster. A show that would change the world. That show was about to go on. The League of Arab States is meeting in Beirut. Howd has ordered 6 watches. This time, they were all sent by a courier directly to him because the people they are intended for are not available to Gisela's charms. One is for his father, the king, another for his older brother, the heir apparent. One is for the president of Egypt, one for the president of Syria, one for the president of Lebanon, and one for the king of Jordan. At least that's what you and I see have told me. Am I right so far?" Spencer waited for an answer, but none came. He drank his glass and refilled it. "Am I right, Max? Just Max? Because if I'm not, then you'd better stop me from going any further right now. And I don't mean stop the story, I mean stop me. Stop me from going on the other side of that mirror." Max looked over at him, his eyes showing no betrayal of trust, no sign of dishonesty, nothing that Spencer could read as being anything other than conviction. Spencer looked away from him, looked at his own reflection in the mirror. "We think," he started softly, "at least you guys think, so I guess I do, that Howd is planning a coordinated assassination. Somehow he is going to shift the blame onto the Americans. He wants to harness the outrage that will follow by turning those Arab states into one nation, a nation under his control. America could fight one country, but they could not fight that kind of unity, a nation of nations. How am I doing, Max? Am I on track?" He turned and locked eyes with him. "One nation united in hate. That's pretty scary, isn't it? And do you know what's really scary? Howd might just pull the whole show off. Then what happens? Retaliation is not just against the unity of nations. It will be seen against the unity of Muslim peoples. And do you know what, Max, just Max? There are 1.5 billion Muslims in the world. That's a big apple to choke on. So what's the free world's ace in this hole? To dress me up as a terrorist and send me in to spoil the show. Christ, think about that for a moment, Max. Think about that. Why don't they just send somebody in to blow Howd's brains out? Why not?" "Howd has to die of his own volition," Max said, "fall on his own sword. An assassination motivated by political goals would not be accepted by the Arab world, particularly Howd's father. If we assassinate Howd, King Hakam would have no choice but to turn against the West, and the end would be the same either way. I want Howd to be the architect, the producer of his own death. How am I to arrange that? How do I do that?" "Initiative," Max answered. "Use your own bloody initiative." Spencer Elliott stood up, spreading his fingers, placing them on the mirror, leaning so close to it that his breath clouded the image. He said, "Tell me, Janos Farkas, tell me how I do it." Through the mist of Spencer's reflection in the mirror, Max could see the black pupils of his eyes start to pulsate. He was entering another world, a world not his own, the world of Janos Farkas. There was not much time left, and Max didn't want it to end this way. "All right," he said, grabbing Spencer by the shoulders and shaking him. "Enough Janos Farkas. Right now I need you to be yourself. I need you to be Spencer Elliott again. I need that for me, because I don't know if I'll ever see you again, if you'll even be alive after this. I'll never find out what happens to you. The corporation don't like that. They won't tell me. Nobody will. I'll read about something in the paper and have no idea how much truth they're letting out. A week from now, I'll be back in Hollywood blowing fake arms off fake Hollywood heroes. They have no idea. No goddamn idea. Jesus Christ, Spencer, for half an hour, be yourself. For me. For you, Max, Spencer replied, as his eyes cleared. Just for you. I shouldn't, Max said, but somehow I'm going to try and follow your story. I don't give a damn if I see like it or not. Don't, Spencer said. Don't compromise your position with Ignatus. Maybe someday they'll have us working together again. Leave it until then. Now, let's just have a drink. Let's sit somewhere else, Max said, somewhere away from the mirror, somewhere away from the room, over there at the table. I'll bring the drinks. Okay, Spencer replied, turning away from the mirror. I'm not looking forward to that room. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Max poured the drinks. An extra shot of clear liquid went into Spencer's. Cheers, he said when he brought them to the table. It's been quite a ride. For you, maybe, Spencer replied. Maybe it's almost over. But for me, it's just the beginning. Sorry, Max said. Spencer looked for explanation. About the wife, Max explained. Ignatus said they had no idea that was going to happen. Are you worried about her? Spencer picked a picture of her up from the table. No, he said, I don't think so. It's good that they've only been together such a short time. There's still a lot about him that she wouldn't know. And this place would change him so that if he acts a little different when he gets out, she'll think it's only natural. And besides, now I know a secret that only they share. What? Max asked. Spencer got the tape, the first tape he had ever seen of them together, their surveillance tape of them together at the outdoor cafe. He put it in the video machine and pushed play. There, he said. See what he's saying to her? There is no sound, just Max replied. There is to me, Spencer answered. I've studied his lip movements and inflections for so long, they might as well be talking in a recording booth. He is reciting a poem to her, a love sonnet written over 150 years ago. How do I love thee, Spencer started. Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight. Max watched Spencer's head slump, and then only his breathing could be heard. Spencer was out cold. Max picked him up and laid him on the bed. Lifting his head, he put a pillow under it. He sat on the bed beside and looked at him. Spencer, he said, Spencer Elliott. Then lifting his right arm back, his elbow high, he drove his fist hard into the sleeping face. Spencer, he said again. Spencer, Spencer, Spencer. God damn it, Spencer. And then he drove his fist into the face one more time. Spencer, he said. And this time there was close to tears in Max's eyes as there ever had been. Getting up, he brought back the most recent picture of Janos's battered face. He held it close to Spencer's. Shit, he said. There was no joy in his heart over how closely the faces now matched. No feeling of pride in his accomplishment. He got a black cloth bag and pulled it over Spencer's head. Then he went to the door and gave 3 short raps. That's the end of chapter 29. Tomorrow, chapter 30.